So I cut all my jaws to 5-inch 5-inch 003 to 5-inch 004 to have a thou of play basically, so that it doesn't give you a hard time going in, you know. And the back jaw, the good thing about this is because it's not a super precision vise. The movable jaw is 5 inches 018. So my back jaws will never be able to fit the front or the movable and the other way around. So this works perfect for me doing the same jobs over and over. I machined this to width and it basically snaps in. I tighten the screws, awesome. And the front, again, I snap it in, I tighten, and this will always match. This will always match, no matter what. So, I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of CAD work to do. I have a lot of modeling to redo, and I have a lot of programming to redo, because there are many changes that need to be made. And also again, I'm using the prototype number 3 will use thrust washers. So, you know, I have to recode all that. So basically this is gonna have a big pocket in here now on both sides. So I have to machine some jaws to cut both this and that. I already have a set of jaws for that, but that's only for one side. So I need another set of jaws to flip it over and do a pocket on this side for the thrust washers. And you know, a couple of details here and there, but hopefully I'll get it. You know what? I can't even get it done because I need to move back onto my car parts, because I have a stash of material over there that I've been wanting to do for a while. So, and I also have some BMW stuff that I gotta do. Speaking of which, let's take a look at it real quick. On my website, the BMW. It's called a sunshade tab. Give me 1 second. We'll get one real quick. This has to be one of my best sellers of all time, and this is what keeps bringing me a little bit of cash, so I can continue with all these projects, because all of this is funded by myself. I'm not on Kickstarter or any of those type of sites to try to get funding for it. So whatever I make off of these parts, or whatever parts that I make and sell, is what I put back into, you know, projects like this. So these are the BMW sunshade tab. All right, this is all it is. On the BMWs, they have a luxurious feature. Also, Mercedes have them, Audis have them. A lot of the Europeans have them. They have a button in the center console. You hit the button, the rear window has a screen that comes out and it retracts. It's a power sunshade. So if you have a baby back there, like my son, if you have a baby back there, you know, you can push a button and the shade will come up to block out the sun a little bit. And that arm connects to that screen through this. And that's plastic. When they manufacture this, it's plastic. I mean, I understand why, because the rail itself that it rides on is aluminum. And if you put aluminum on aluminum, coefficient of friction is fairly high from aluminum to aluminum. So I understand why they made these out of plastic, and also cost, obviously. But for the vehicles that, you know, are owned by people who live in the States where it gets hot and cold and hot and cold, and you know, summertime gets 100 degrees and inside a car gets to about 110, 120, and the winter it gets to about, you know, 10 degrees. The plastic will fail. So that's why these are great. So these are my best sellers. These are aluminum, but they're anodized, so they're a little slicker riding on aluminum. They're a little slicker. But I always tell the people who buy it, it's not always, but I have a DIY on m5board.com that tells them to grease this real well. Grease the track real well. So this is what fails, the plastic part. Now, obviously, the arm has another attachment at the end, which is this part. So the arm attaches to this, and this you can see here. That goes right there. And this part broke off. That's usually where it breaks off. So now if you strengthen this part, and the arm is aluminum, my finger is the arm, obviously the next failure is going to be right here. So one of my customers says, hey, you know, you want to make some of this? I'm like, okay, not a problem. So here's the prototype. First operation. I still need to modify it some more because I sent it to him and he lives in Texas. It takes a couple of days to get there. I sent it to him. I sent him the prototype. The first one didn't work out really well because it didn't have this full radius on here. Yeah, it's a full radius. So now it's a full radius, which I sent it to him again, and I modified a couple of things. He says it fits, but it's a real tight fit. So what I want to do is I want to loosen that up to make this a little thinner and here a little thinner. Close these dimensions a little more. And this was the prototype. Prototype number 1. See, it's not a full radius. It's just some couple of fillets here. So this is how it's supposed to look. Anyways, whatever. I'll modify it a little more. I'll refine it a little more, and you know, the new prototype that I sent them works, but it could be better. It could be a lot better, and obviously it's not anodized. So version number 3, revision number 3 will be perfect. So this is BMW parts, whatever. Car parts. I can't stay away from car parts. That's okay though. That's my bread and butter. All right. Thank you.